have mercy. Not how I expected that night to go, but we persist. So, hey friends, welcome to this week's video. This week we're gonna go over Chelsea boots. That's because Samika recently got me some Nick's last dress boot. We will go over that once I actually get it in the mail. But I figured she got me a brown boot, let me get a black boot for more formal purposes or just for a sleeker look. But the problem is I didn't want to just like replicate it, right? I didn't want to get another exact same boot, so I kind of wanted to try something different, and that's where Chelsea boots came up. The only problem with Chelsea boots is twofold for me. One, I'm used to a monk strap. I'm used to laces because you can lock in or loosen up that fit and really make it what you need for your time and occasion. For Chelsea boots, you kind of just got that step in and whatever they give you. Because it's an elastic, it's really easy to get on, but then once it's on your foot, you really have to be reliant on whatever the manufacturer gave you. It's not going to allow you to strap things down. It's not going to allow you to loosen things up. So you kind of have to get it right immediately. Secondly, I just haven't seen that much around. I have no experience for guys wearing Chelsea boots outside of like seeing things on movies and seeing people in Europe. So, you know, around the city here in Boston, me traveling to Atlanta or some other places, I have not really seen people wear Chelsea boots that often. So it's hard for me to get a lookbook in my brain on how this would work with me. Secondly, there was, you know, the ones that I have seen, it's like they're more European fit. They're more sleeker and tapered. And in my current life and fashion right now, my pants are more high-waisted and flowy with a wider leg. So I just didn't know how that would flow. Again, most of the time I see this on females and they pull it off beautifully with whatever silhouettes they pick. But for guys, I've mostly seen it with tapered looks. I just didn't know how that was going to transition for me. So I had to go into a little bit of a research hole to figure out what I needed. So I think after all of that, I came down to 3 criteria that was absolutely necessary for this. So one, aesthetically, it needed to be super sleek. I was going for an all black boot that should be able to transition to my suits and also casually as I wanted to. 2, I needed to have a rubberized sole because I didn't want to die here in Boston. So it's always sleek, it's always wet, it's always, you know, gonna be a little bit of sucky weather here in Boston, especially in the winter. So I need something that'll keep me upright and not make me slip. And for me, I have like experience with Dynites. I think I've used it on my Allen Edmonds in the past. That usually helped me out with the ice and things like that. So I wanted something like that would keep me safe when I'm walking out in bad weather. And then third, I have a fat foot, like a double D width foot, and it's just huge. So yeah, I really need to find size. It's sometimes hard for me to find shoes because of how wide my foot is. So that's going to be probably the biggest hurdle here. First place I went was Grant Stone because I know that entry level, these things are great. They have really good quality, they have really good service, and their leathers are pretty good. When I got it, it was all right. I think their brown models look better. Their black model just didn't have that sharpness. However, it did have a rubber sole, and it was very wide foot compliant. So I was able to be happy on 2 of the 3 fronts, but I just couldn't get over how the black looked. It just didn't have that sharpness I was looking for. So then that led me to go, let's go on the other scale. Let's just ball out. Let's drop a band on or more on a shoe. So all of the AI agents I threw this at went to Crockett & Jones Chelsea 8. And this guy was beautiful. Like online, it looked amazing. They used some of the best leathers in terms of their selection. When I got it in hand, it looked so pretty. It felt amazing. It smelled amazing. So I was really excited. It had a bottom that was grippy. This thing looked sexy, but they only came in one size. So I wanted to risk it because it looked so freaking good. I just risked it. I was like, okay, let me just try to do a standard sizing. That didn't work out. That just didn't work out. It was tight. Tight for my fat foot. If you have standardized foot, definitely try it out. It's gonna look really, really good. But for me, it was hard for me to justify because I'm dropping $1,000. Can I really take caveats here? Because if I did size up, it would work. I just had to wear a thicker sock, but then there's still gonna be an issue of like heel slippage potentially, and I have to wear a thicker sock all the time, which maybe I don't want to do sometimes when it gets warmer. As well as if I just stayed with my normal foot, there's no way to adjust that fit. So yes, it will stretch a little bit as I wear it, but do I really want to drop $1,000 for a shoe that I'm making concessions for? Probably not. And that's where we finally come to what I found. Because again, both of these shoes have been hitting like 2 or 3 criterion RM Williams. This guy actually fit all three because it has a rubber bottom. Not Dynite, but we'll talk about that. But it does have this rubberized bottom that'll help me stay upright. It does have a very sleek look. I love the leather that they've chosen here. It's bending really nicely, as well as the fact that they use one wrapping piece of leather instead of making a stitch here. And we'll show that more up close. But that was something that made this thing really, really slick. I wasn't sure about the pull tabs because they kind of look a little cheapy. But I'm generally going to be wearing this over and not really doing much like hiking up using the tabs, so it shouldn't be a big issue. They're actually pretty nice to pull on. And then the biggest one is this wide foot compliant. They have wide foot options, so this one, step in comfort, amazing. And we'll talk more about long-term, like, usage and how that actually fits with my wide foot as I walk more in it. But simply amazing out of the gate in terms of getting all three criteria out of the box. I didn't really have time to shoot an unboxing on this one because I was so excited, but let's get some close-ups so you guys understand a little bit more details about what's going into the shoe. This particular model is called the Craftsman boot, which comes in a black, chestnut, dark tan, and caramel yearling option. Yearling is a high-quality, fine-grained leather from cattle aged 1 to 2 years. It bridges the gap between supple soft and durability. The leather is a tight grain that is more pliable like veal, but more resilient. This is the core material associated with RM Williams, who started their boot making journey in 1932 for use in the Australian outback. As mentioned before, each boot is constructed from one piece of leather, giving it a seamless look even from the sides. Many Chelsea boots have a stitch from the elastic to the sole to ensure structural integrity, durability, and shape. This not only gives it sexy look, but also reduces irritation and weak points in the shoe. The main stitching is reserved for the back seam, which has nice tight stitching to close it up cleanly. That heel area also implements a padded lining for your comfort. Of course, you have your iconic elastic panel, which RM Williams has made double-sided. RM Williams is known for its memory-like high tensile elastic, which is also replaceable. It is designed to be unpicked and replaced by a cobbler. While the service around this is great, this is probably my biggest concern with this type of boot due to its elastic weakening as well as exposure to the elements. While it can resist splashes, it likely needs to be treated with waterproofing to ensure I don't have soggy socks. The inside has contrast leather lining, which is lightly padded and smooth to the touch. With its seamless design, this shoe is simply a breeze to slip on. As for the pull tabs, they looked a little strange out of the box, but since I'm not wearing crop pants with these, you'll never see them. Nonetheless, they make the shoe very easy to put on. They're made of heavy-duty bonded nylon, which resists friction and prevents fraying. The shoe shape is a chisel square toe, which is key for its wide foot compliance. It allows the toes to splay without looking stubby. It still looks sharp and long without the bulk. It is also a great shape to seamlessly transition from formal to casual fits. In terms of the front view, this is where you can see that blocking line we talked about before. The blocking machine uses intense heat to physically stretch and crimp the leather into shape, which is a testament to the leather quality used due to its ability to survive this without tearing. The process is somewhat RM Williams' secret sauce, as they use only locally built custom machines and they don't sell them commercially. The sole comes in 3 varieties: a classic leather sole, a dynamic rubber sole which has a removable contoured footbed for comfort, and the one you see here on my shoe, which is the comfort rubber sole, which emphasizes shock absorption and grip. Since I live in the Northeast, I went for grip. This sole is non-slip and oil resistant, which is perfect for city commuting and light work. It gives the proper weather barrier against moisture and mud, and it's rated to last 2 to 4 years under regular use. The sole is also a Goodyear welt, so it can be replaced, something that is core to the design on all components of RM Williams. Past 6 weeks, I've been wearing these all over the city, and we went to this one event here in the Seaport District for Logitech where we got to try out a bunch of their new gear. This was a great way to test it just because we were dodging between crowds, and there was a bunch of activities, so I even got to be able to use these more actively. But overall, they felt really, really nice, especially with my wide foot. I felt like they were like a sneaker, essentially. I love how they formed to my foot, and they really made my outfit look really, really sharp and dapper. That being said, of course, black pants of any shape and form will work with these, so feel free to abuse black pant outfits all you want. But if you want to go a little bit more sleeker with more tapered look, here's a little suiting option that I've shown you here. This works just very well, again, for a more European look. It's just very clean and dapper, even with that elastic in there. Or if you want to go more contemporary with the wide leg and more texture, still looks good, hides the elastic, but still gives you a little pop and looks really, really good with this silhouette. And here I put together a couple of fits that I would usually wear to work. On the left, you have the much more dapper tucked in 3-piece suit, while on the right, you have what I would normally wear if I was just doing a quick training or if I was just meeting people in the office. Again, two different sides of the coin for office looks, but they both look great with these. The shape of the shoe is really, really sharp, but also because it has a little bit more heft to it, it can hold up to more texture heavy patterns or even bigger silhouettes like these wide leg pants that I have here. And you don't have to keep it so tame. You can go be a little bit more louder with wider pants, get some Oreo look in there. This will still look very nice and very sharp if you're wearing trousers. Here, I'll show you a couple of different more dressed down looks. So one with the white pants and one with just some Shishiko jeans that I have. Both of these are a little bit more scaled down from the dressed up looks earlier. The left side is more casual upscale, while the right side is just straight like I woke up and I threw on a t-shirt. Both look really, really good with these shoes, and it classes things up and kind of takes away some of the edge from any portions that might be unironed or less refined. It just upscales you in general, even with these casual looks. And you get really creative with the pants here. You don't have to just stick with the traditional colors. Here I have a red and green version with different cuts, just so you can see how pants fall on these shoes. But again, I think these look really sharp regardless of what you do. However, I will say for these colorways, I probably would do like the dark chestnut or the dark tan. I think that would look better. And for these outfits here, you just see how that looks with a thicker sweater t-shirt. Again, both these look nice, but I think they would look better with the warmth of the dark chestnut. It just makes it a little bit more drab and darker, a little bit more bold for sure, but I think it would blend better with the brown. So I think it's safe to say that I found my boot. And I'm actually really glad that I went through the trouble of researching this, because I probably would have not even entertained this boot otherwise. And it kind of would have been a detriment to me, because this has a lot of potential to just bring out an outfit and really make it look dope. So not only am I really happy that I did the research just to get a Chelsea boot, but I'm really glad I did that because I found RM Williams. And this is a company I was not familiar with at all, but being able to research them and look into their journey and their roots, as well as understand their manufacturing process and their material selection, really made me appreciate the craftsmanship that went into this boot. Like, just all those years of tacit knowledge and their proprietary processes really shine through this boot, and I can understand why people like this company a lot. But I think my biggest thing is that this company did everything I needed it to. It needed to have a grippy bottom, and it has a lot of sole options, so even if you don't want that, you can go more traditional. It is wide foot compliant, which there are companies that do that, but they look super blocky and stumpy. And again, that goes to the third thing I was looking for. I needed a sleek, long looking thing because I wanted to really have some more presence on foot, and this does that. So it's just something I didn't expect to find ever like, as I started doing research and trying shoes, I'm like, I'm never going to find a shoe. But finding RM Williams, not only did I find the shoe, but I found things that are like better than most shoes. Like this whole cut design with the no stitching looks amazing, and it's just so well executed that there's nothing to complain about. Like, this shoe is something that I've been wearing a ton, and I can just only feel it more and more every day, like kind of form to my foot. And I'm starting to treat it less like a boot and more like a sneaker, because I can bring it together in a lot of different outfits that I did not expect initially. But it's as comfortable to like walk around the city like all day without any foot fatigue, and you know, I can like fall into like a ping pong game and it doesn't really bother me. So I love the fact that it's so comfortable, still has the dressiness of it, but it's like all day wearable, and I don't hate my feet and want to chop them off. So really, really happy with everything that came across this. But if you guys have questions, definitely ask me. I'm gonna be wearing this as much as I can. It's obviously getting warmer, more closer to spring here in Boston, so there's gonna be less and less opportunities for me to wear it, but I'll still find some formal event or something to whip it out, just because it's such a sexy looking shoe. So if you guys want to see more fits on it, have questions about it, I can shoot a short for you. As long as you don't ask me to chop this in half, I'm not going to do that because I love this shoe. But like, if you have other questions about like how it holds up over time, or some other pants or things you want me to try with it, totally down to shoot a short for you. So if you have any questions, again, leave them in the comments. But I think that's all we got. I got to start working on my next review. But if you could, in the meantime, please put a like, subscribe, comment, do all the things you normally do on a video that you like and love. And as always, I appreciate you. See you very soon.